So I mentioned at the top, the Raiders last year, first coach ever to get assistant coach of the year and head coach of the year votes. It was an incredible year just because of, everything that happened with the Raiders. And you come in. Have you had a moment to like look back and be like, that was like, I'm proud of what we did, because I think any other team has that much adversity with Gruden going away, and then the Henry Ruggs situation. Like you kept that team together. It was incredible that you guys got to the playoffs and got to that point, and probably should have, outside of a bad call against the Bengals, could have maybe been playing in the second round. Like, have you had that moment where like that was something special? Because it was, from our point of view.
I think we definitely think it was something special. Certainly, when it's all said and done at the end of the year and you lose that last game and you're in the locker room with those guys that went through all that, I'd like to think the coaching staff that we had, pulled everybody in the same direction, and the players just decided to become a team as we got going. And I think we tried to improve a little bit every day. I thought we were improving in games as the season went on, but I think the credit really gets to be spread amongst the coaching staff, amongst the personnel people that were there, and Mayock, who I've known for a long time, and then certainly the way players adapted to everything that happened. A lot of times in adversity, it breeds strength, and because in the National Football League, no one really gives a shit, to be real honest with you. You got to get up and you got to go play. No one cares type deal. And I think we got to the point where we had to kind of rally together for the things that went on that they weren't in our control, but what is in our control, and how are we going to respond to the things that happen? That's life, right? There's circumstances that come up. How are you going to respond to the circumstance? And I think that's what everybody on that particular staff and team adapted to. Here's the circumstance. Here's how we're going to respond.
Yeah. Now, that last game, before the playoff game, was there any part of you that was like, let's play for a tie?
No.
That was one of the craziest, events basically in the NFL, the fact that we had two teams that if they tie, they both get in, and then have it be tied late. There was never a point where you're like,
we had the ball and we had the clock in our favor. So our thought was we were just going to keep running the ball, and I thought we could kick a 58-yard field goal with Daniel, obviously. So, but we get in position where we end up with a big run. The timeout's really irrelevant. I don't know why anybody makes such a big deal over it, but we just ended up with a big run, with Josh, and just put us in better position to kick it. But we were going to be in position to kick at least a 58-yarder, we thought. So.
Now, did you feel at any point that the Chargers were like, maybe they'll just tie? Because it was crazy. I mean, I'm just thinking back of it now. Like, it did feel like the Chargers thought, oh, let's just run this out. Like, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think we can only coach one team at a time. So
it's a good answer. That's a good football guy answer.
It is.
How long did it take to write all those handwritten notes? Because for people who don't know, you wrote a handwritten note to every single player. I don't actually, I'm not going to commend you because, you just did schoolwork. But how much time did it actually take? Because that part, I would be like, no, I'm just going to type this out.
That was actually, my daughter put that on FaceSpace or Facebook, whatever those things are.
That's awesome.
But I, I wasn't really happy with it at first. I certainly appreciate her thought process and what she was now that it's gone through. But coming from a longtime college coach, I wrote notes all the time. Handwritten notes. That was a big deal in recruiting at that time. And a lot of times I'd left, you can ask Deuce McAllister and those guys, left notes in their lockers and all those things. So that was just kind of we were in a playoff game, and it was an exciting time for everybody, and I was just going to leave stuff in their locker, and I was just finishing up some. That was actually the morning of the game. I only had a few left to finish up. I had been working on them throughout the week. So there was only a few to finish up, and that's when the picture was taken.
Did Compton get one? Because I don't think he was not.
Oh, yeah, actually let him go before that.
Yeah, so you got to write him a note.
I got to bring that up.
Come on, you got to write him a note. You owe him a note.
Do you want to give him a verbal note?
I text him all the time.
Give him a verbal note.
I text him all the time. I text him all the time. So it's he'll know exactly what that means.
It was a cool moment, though. I mean, like I said, we're drawn to football guys who it's clear their players will do anything for them, and it's clear that you have that with your players.